Good morning. It is, oh boy. It's Friday, May 13th. It is Friday the 13th, which I know some people love, some people don't love, some people get freaked out by it, but here we are. Which makes it, Jason, 90 days out from Thursday, August 11th. It is the day after Red Day. And we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to be grateful for. We had a whole bunch of people. I don't know what the final head count was. A whole bunch of you descended on Portsmouth for the Portsmouth campus project that we worked on yesterday, and then outside of that, I do and I might have missed some folks, so I apologize if I missed your group. But due to the size of our footprint, we had some of our team members, Jason, that decided to attack their localities. So I know Legacy Home Group. Somebody had a small child strapped to their back, and they were picking up trash. I think they were literally doing like town cleanup in Laconia. Joey Sweat and Above the Notch Realty went to a local soup kitchen, and they went and worked and served all day, and they're going to make that an annual thing. And for context, we appreciate them doing that because they are. I think if you get to the North Conway office, Jason, Joey and Tanya and the team are another hour 30 north of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're a hike. I'm going to go see them at the end of June, but they're heading up Antigonish Way. That's where they are. So we're grateful that they did that. And also, I saw one other group, and I'm going to forget it now off the top of my head. But those were the two that I definitely know about for sure. And I on the way home after we finished the bridge to nowhere in the middle of Narnia, not finished, started after we started the bridge. I did reach out to Babs because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. So Cohen Title was on hand with whole bunches of hydration. There was so much water. It was so phenomenal. And God bless Jennifer LaPerriere. J-Lap brought down our lunch to us at the bridge. She brought down cookies and brownies, which nobody needed, and we still ate, and bunches of water, which was phenomenal. So according to, and I reached out to Babs, and I do want to mention, initially, obviously, there's the Red Day team or the Red Day committee from our Associate Leadership Council. So every year we have an ALC that is our privately held board of directors, and Melissa Lesniak and Sally Stew led the charge with that, and then there was a task force put into place as well. So Helen, for ultimately nurturing the relationship. She's good friends with the woman, Bryn, who is in charge over at Portsmouth campus. And that's how we got there in the first place. So if you see Helen, thank her for making yesterday's location happen. Also, Camille was on board. Babs is on board. And I do believe our fourth person would be J-Lap. So the four of those ladies made sure that all the logistics were all set for us to just get there and show up and get dirty, which is pretty cool. So great thanks to them. And I wanted Babs to reach out, Jason, and make sure that we didn't miss anything because you and I were in the woods all day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have an idea of what we were doing everywhere else. I just wasn't sure, and I didn't want to miss anything. So you guys mulched perennial flower beds, new flowers in planters in front of the building, cut back all the walking paths, and they were everywhere. There were some paved, some unpaved. Cleaned the tennis courts, cut back all the brush along the courts and the paths to it, cut down dead trees in front of the building. And I heard this rumor yesterday, and it's now in brackets, so it's true. Christian Scott, huge help. And we're going to circle back to Christian Scott in a second because he said something when he got out of his car that I don't think a lot of people might have picked up on, but it gives us another reason to brag about Nate Dickey. So we're going to get there in a second. Replaced rotted wood panels on the bridge. So how many wood panels are on the bridge, Jason? All of them.
Yeah, a lot.
I think we're going to end up saving two. We are in the conversation right now. Jeff is talking to Bryn today about maybe us swinging back over there. Now, ultimately, with the bridge being, it's almost like peeling a fingernail. Like you just got to rip it off at this point. So us starting that project now accelerates and expedites the project for the city to go finish it for them. Although we do want to go back. There's a group of us that might head back sooner than later to chip away. I think another day there we could get a lot done. I think we still don't finish maybe, but that's okay.
No,
that's okay. None of our loved ones want us at home anyway, so we'll just go back out there and play in the woods again. So. replacing most of the playgrounds, replaced raised gardens, cleaned and disinfected the school shed, built a greenhouse, and covers for the raised gardens. And then, yeah, here's more details that she shared with me about Joey. Above the notch, they went and did North County Senior Meals in Colebrook for the residents of Colby Commons. That's what Joey and his team did. So, whole bunch of work done yesterday. I believe it was Bradley Kelly and Jenny Kopp from 4 Points. Bradley Kelly from Annie Mac Mortgage did the kitchen for lunch, which was super different. We usually get like 8 million pies, which is not a problem.
Yeah.
When I heard from JLAP we were doing the kitchen, I'm like, what? That logistically, can you see a bunch of people standing around with their menu, right? Can I get like no? We're just bringing food. Deal with it. So, but huge sandwich platters. Lots of great food there. And then, first but not last but not least, for sure, Dave Garvey and the crew from Commercial Land, the Commercial Land Group, they brought in a truck from Aroma Joe's. And you're like, oh, coffee. Nope, whatever you wanted. They were doing coffees, they were doing lattes, they were doing all the things. They were doing frozen drinks, they were doing the rushes, they were doing breakfast sandwiches, whatever you wanted. Because Francis did his day of service with us, and he kept an eye on his phone all day. He did a day of service with us, and he was like, well, what can I get over the truck? I'm like, whatever you want. He's like, really? So he ran around getting sugared up all day because, diabetes isn't really real, so that's fine. But anyway, a phenomenal day. Now back to the Christian Scott comment, and maybe he can track me down and correct me later if I'm wrong. He got out of his car, and this is his first physical red day with us. He's been with other KW market centers, and he said KWCLM does it right. And ultimately, he was joking about like the Aroma Joe's truck. But again, talk to your friends who are at other market centers within KW, and no judgment. We are at a phenomenal model of the model here in Portsmouth. So you guys did a great job yesterday. What were your biggest takeaways, Jason, besides back pain?
I worked on the bridge with you guys, and for the most part of it, it was like the first time. And I say this, it's the first time we've ever taken on and we've taken on some projects at Red Day. It's the first time where we
the time you were on a front end loader, and I thought you were putting a pool in. Yeah. I'm like, why is he digging up the whole yard?
Yeah, I've ran excavators, chainsaws. I've done it all at Red Days in the past, but that was the first time when we got rolling on that bridge, and I'd say it took us probably about a half hour to make a game plan, a half hour to adjust said plan. But, about an hour into it, I looked at Brad Kelly and I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to do this. And Brad said to me, oh, we're doing it. Like in full blown Brad Kelly, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the work that was
done, I got to pick
up
the girls at some point tonight. We're doing this.
Yeah. And Brad was like, we don't not finish projects at Red Day. I'm like, no, I agree. And we were going, and we were just going. And then we started seeing the logistical issues of literally humping lumber quarter of a mile.
I was talking to Dave Garvey about it. It was from the pile of wood to the project was a quarter mile. And then Jamie Holland, God bless him, was our carpenter, and he is frickin' brilliant. And I think people that know him know that already. And if you don't know Jamie Holland, he's frickin' brilliant. He did a great job. Because there were some strategic things that like he was able to just sit down with a skill saw and sit down with his fast square, and he's just like, yep, speed square, and figure out all the angles. He'd hustle off, he'd come back. But yeah, yes. When we go back, dear friend, I think we will set up our camp a little differently.
Yeah, the big thing with any time you're doing that stuff in any construction project, like for the people that were actually just Jamie Holland was out cutting the lumber, and the people that were carrying it out to us. And I know we had a tractor, and I know, but there was like certain sizes where we need a certain size board. Mm-hmm. So the people that were doing that, like that is just not great work. I got to be honest. Like that is frustrating. And I know the Zoller team. I don't know his first name. I do know his last name is St. Pierre because I know his sister Becky from high school. Mm-hmm. But I think his name is John. John St. Pierre. Does that sound right? That kid was just all day long, just lumber on his shoulders,
Yes. Yep.
walking back and forth with custom sized wood that we needed as we were doing it. Just removing of nails, like in broken, rusted screws. Like none of that work was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like typically construction is fun.
Greg Colby got a concussion about 4 minutes in.
Yeah, he
and
got
I said
whacked in the head.
he worked better after the concussion. He was much more lucid after the.
We were like, well, let's put a plumb on this and let's do that. And somebody goes, what do they call it? Tree fort framing. I started laughing.
We ain't building a church.
Yeah, and it's just just getting it done, and we got done a long, I don't even know how long it was, 150-foot section of that bridge. And it had 2 custom corners in it where Jamie Holland did come in, and
God bless him.
Jamie took a couple numbers, went up and was like drawing it all over the woods and like cutting pie-shaped woods to make a curve, which is not easy to do. And then he came down, walked it down, and it was like off by like a blade's width, so we had to like walk it all back up and trim a little bit more off of it. But they come out amazing. And what we did get done, I mean, I know that Marcus Catkin posted some pictures, some before and afters. They looked amazing. They looked great.
Yep. Well,
so it was just great.
When you were leaving the main campus and going back to the tennis courts to your car, as Francis and I are leaving, the amount of there were just tires, because what they did is basically everybody dragged any refuse they found in the woods to an area where the town could come through and pick it up and haul it off. And there was so much stuff they pulled out of the woods, right? And there was a project for anybody. And I'm saying that because I'm Jason. Jason makes me look better than I am. And God bless Lesniak. Lesniak gave me his gloves, so I didn't have to ruin. No damage done to the beans. You made a comment at one point. You're like, because we're hitting all the joists with all the screws across the bridge, and you're like, if you're a day laborer, that's what you're doing. And Jason looks at me. He's like, you'd be good at that, because nobody trusts me with anything else. But there was a job for everyone. There was stuff inside. There was planting stuff. If you told Alice Kabaki, we're going back for 3 more days, she'd be like, I'm down. And I'm bringing Michael and all my tools, right? So everybody gets to find their jam. There's enough projects that everybody was super happy. And I guess just the sheer joy of people showing up for their first time or their 5th time or their 12th time to do this. We had such a beautiful day. We were so blessed with the weather because that could have gone sideways. It has in the past. Remember the house we worked on in Portsmouth with the
Dover.
Portsmouth Tech Company? Was it Dover or Portsmouth? We were working with a school, and it poured all day. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I mean, so and that's fine too, because once you're out there, when you're wet, you're wet. It's fine. But we had great weather, great amenities. The food, soup to nuts, was awesome, and everybody coming out. We really appreciate you guys leaning into this. And I'm still going to say this: we need more help. Next year, I'd love to see more people come out. It is not a numerical date, and that makes it difficult. Here's how it's easy: the 2nd Thursday in May. So guess what we'll do right now, Jason? I'm going to have everybody.
It's going to pull up the Google.
Let's have everybody grab their calendars, and let's go there. Or somebody can throw it in the chat, or I can just keep clicking through my Google calendar. But let's just make this a thing. It's going to be Thursday, May 11th. It's going to be Thursday, May 11th is Red Day. Thursday, May 11th, 2023 is Red Day. So just circle.
Bring your Windex, bring one rag, and find one seagull.
1,000%. I am bucking for a beach cleanup. I saw Garvey this morning. He's like, "Do you think everybody was happy?" I'm like, "Everybody was thrilled with the truck, Dave." And yeah, I was joking about it last night with JV on the phone, and as I was talking about it, my wife's next to me. We're watching the Bruins. Thank God that was a good show. We're watching the Bruins, and she literally goes into Facebook and goes to Red Day 2022 beach cleanup, and she found Daytona Beach, Florida. They gather at 8:30. They grab some sustenance. They all have their coffees. They walk the beach from 9 to 11:15. And then they head off the beach, 2-hour beach cleanup. Like to Jason's point, I've been saying this for years. Lindsay for president. This is my stump speech. You Windex one sea chicken, you pick up one straw, and then we call it a day and we go get lobster rolls or beach pizza, whatever people want. And So this group does a 2-hour beach cleanup. They go to a beach bar. They have lobster rolls and cocktails, and they make some huge financial donation to some local group. Yes, I'm all about it. JV's like, well, last time we did beach cleanup, it was really cold. I'm like, I can Windex a sea chicken in the cold. I can do it. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Yeah. What's that? What's the company that makes all the sea gear, the fishing gear? Is it Grundens?
Yeah. Grundmans, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be out there in my my safety orange with my beekeeper's hat. Oh boy. Anyway, let's hit the schedule real quick. Now that we reminded you that Thursday, May 11th, 2023 is our next Red Day, so no one's going to miss it because everybody's super excited. I love that about you. Let's make sure we hit this schedule for today. We are covering social media in Ignite today. That again, of course, is going to be at timsoffice.com and in person in the training room here in Portsmouth. Coffee with a Capper. We have Shannon Casey from Legacy Home Group. She's going to join us at 11 o'clock. That is myself, Brad Kelly, and Shannon Casey from Legacy Home Group. We're going to give you guys a chance to get to know her better, hear about her business, hear about how she has really smashed her numbers. And she has been through a few different iterations of her, and she has really blossomed into a phenomenal dynamo of an agent. So we want to find out more about her. Brad will open up that conversation with about 10, 15 minutes about financing and, of course, what's going on with lending right now. And then back to basics with the brokers, which I believe Jason will be leading today. That's 1 o'clock, Keller TV. And then also, which will be recorded, there's another opportunity to hang out with Brady Sondal. That's the Luxury Learning Series. Brand Standards with Brady Sondal. That's also at 1 o'clock. That will be recorded. That's on KW Connect. So the best use of your time, if you have questions, local questions for our awesome brokers, is 1 o'clock on Keller TV with Jason. And then reminder, stuff that's been delayed, that's finally swinging back around. We do have our all partners meeting at the Meredith Business Center. That is next Thursday, and we're doing that at 12 o'clock. So it'll be a little bit different because all the contracts are still going to happen on Wednesday. We are moving. Am I correct in saying that? I do believe so. All the contracts will still be on Wednesday. We are moving all partners to Thursday because of golf, and then eventually it will move back to Wednesday. Because every other month, that's what we're doing. We'll be down here at the Atlantic Grill next month. The month after that, we'll be back up at the Meredith office. That will be on Facebook Live, as it always is. So if you can come to the Meredith office for that, awesome, next Thursday. Or if you want to do it from the comfort of your couch, that's cool too. Because Wednesday, the 18th, the delayed May the 4th be with you, May the course be with you, golf tournament at the Links at Outlook is next Wednesday now. So a lot of us will be at that. I don't think there's any room, although there's still a link. Let's find out on the fly, Jason. There's still a link, and I think you can still register teams. They are still taking singles and foursomes if you want to join us for that. And that's all to raise money for KW Cares, which is pretty cool. Parting words, Jason. Anything for the people?
Do we know exactly how much we did for the Ukraine mission? Do we know that?
Oh, us locally, or the whole company, you mean?
The whole company, yeah. I know they have that mission going.
Yeah, with Shelter Box. I have no idea where that number stands right now. I'm sure it's going to be awesome because we typically blow everybody out of the water. And that's just another cool thing. I think it's funny when we get asked, and I know you hear this too, Jason, when you're talking to somebody who's a prospective agent who might come play with us. I don't do it to avoid it, but it's almost like the Linda McKissick theory of if you can keep KW out of your mouth while you're talking about the opportunity here, and you just talk about the opportunity and not the company, because clearly they know where you are, clearly they know what brand you're talking about. If you don't keep hitting them over the head with the KW baseball bat, I think that goes a long way. So I do my best to avoid using the word culture when I talk about our company. And now some people might think that's counterintuitive, and here's why. And this is, and I just think it's not. It's about the people that are here. There's nothing you can point to that says that's our culture. You just experience it.
Yeah.
And if your audio matches your video, people are going to see that when they show up. And days like yesterday, and the response from somebody who's been at other market centers who shows up and says, oh, my God, KWCLM does it right. And was 42% of Christian Scott's comment probably about the Aroma Joe's truck? Sure. I think I think if you talk to him about his experience elsewhere and his experience here, he's thrilled to be here because it's just being done differently, and we can blame all of that on Nate. So, as Jason Abrams would say, when it comes to Red Day, and I love that we finally did it too, Jason. Our entire company, KWCLM, was totally shut down yesterday, so the entire staff could be there all day. Because historically, we've had, Christy running back to the office, Christina running back to the office, Tristan has to run back and do this. We just shut it down, which speaks even more to the fact that you guys should shut it down and join us next year on May 11th, 2023, because it is a day that the whole universe is shut down, so we can do this thing. And here's the thing. I know other companies do this. I know other brokerages do this. And there's a lot that don't. And they could. And they choose not to. So culture is about who you surround yourself with. It's not the really cool lobby. It's not the owner's car parked in the parking lot. It's not how nice the building is. It's about the people you surround yourself with. And I think we, if you want a bragging point, if you really like to lead with culture when you're talking about our company, there's nothing wrong with that. You want a bragging point? I do believe we're the only brokerage on planet America, Jason, that has white papers written up by both Stanford and Harvard about our culture.
Yep.
Right. And there's a video that we should throw into Facebook. I'll track it down and I'll chuck it in Facebook today at some point. There's a video where it's basically the chronological timeline of Gary building this company. And there's when Gary talks about something, and then there's a news clip. There's a little press clipping where some leader at another company says, "Let us know when Google calls." And it was when Gary said we're going to be a tech company, and somebody was just making fun of Gary and said, "Let us know when Google calls." And then the next line is Google did call, because Google brought us in to find out how we were going to build our tech and keep it within the culture. Because Google's real big on, you walk on that campus, all the food is free. There's nap pods, right? There's everything.
Yeah.
And I think we do. We're not running around with nap pods and free food all the time. But we do some other stuff really special, and yesterday was one of those things, for sure. So, I will say, if we do put together a SWAT team to go back into the woods, we will make it known, because I'm sure some people would like to join us, because it's going to be about everybody having at least a drill in their hand with 2 rechargeable batteries. That is going to make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. And we have no intel on that yet. If we do, you will see something about it in the Facebook space, so you can join us for that. And above and beyond that, again, thanks to the team that put this together. Lesniak, Sally Stew, and then, of course, Camille and Babs and Jay Lapp and Helen. And Helen, most of all, for finding that spot. What a great job. What a great resource. Yeah. Beautiful campus. And speaking of Babs, if you need her, for your marketing needs, you can go to KWCLMmarketing.com, or you can book some time with her, Time with Babs, BABS, timewithbabs.com. If you need Dear Jason, I do believe JV's a little under the weather, so if you do need Dear Jason before 1 o'clock, you can call him at 603-234-2589, and if you need my face, it is meetwithcoach.com or 603-834-2856. We will see you in minutes at 9 o'clock, either at timsoffice.com for Ignite from your couch, or if you're joining us in Portsmouth, I'll see you in the room really soon. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in and around the Market Center. Thank you, Jason. Have a great day.